Good morning and welcome. I hope your morning and weekend are off to a great start. I don't know exactly what each of you are doing today. I know not all people have weekends like normal people. For years, I've worked so very hard in ministry on Saturdays and Sundays that it's strange to me to take a day off during the week and not be front and center on the weekend. This is a great week. Number one, want to apologize for the challenges that you've faced in getting Dr. Chan's book. I was stunned when I found out that it was out of print. I have, in my research, discovered that it went out of print in September. I wish I would have bought 50 books then, but I didn't. I've been doing work behind the scenes trying to find out uh, what ways we can circumvent this problem for the next class, but that doesn't help you today, and I'm sorry uh, for that difficulty. It is such an excellent book, a practical, down to earth, and relevant. A part of what he talks about is the toxic culture. I think some of us have worked in toxic cultures and we never even realized it until you read a book like this and you say, oh, and you say, when I worked at such and such a store as a teenager, that was a toxic culture. When I went to a certain church, that was a church of inspiration and encouragement. There was love that permeated the air. I served on a committee, and two or three of those people made the committee a headache. I didn't like to go to the meetings, and you now realize it's a toxic culture. So our discussion board this week relates to that and the toxic atmosphere, and to identify three characteristics in your discussion board. So be sure your initial post has three characteristics, and then to discuss at least two possible ways to recreate that setting into a positive atmosphere. That's good for us to think about because we work with people, and if we believe the Bible, we're all sinners and we all fall short of the glory of God, and we need His help, and we can be part of His helpers if we understand the toxic culture issues. The other part of your paper is to uh, discuss and present the challenges and the differences between making changes in a small church versus a church that's larger. Let's see, the numbers I put in there was 200 or less, or a medium church of 201 to 400. And those are just broad categories, uh, but I think it's important to understand. We have already interacted some, and some of you in other classes with me, we've come to realize how difficult it is to change. Um, you probably put the same uh, shoe on every morning. You either put your right shoe on or your left shoe on. You put your right shoe on. You you tie the shoestring if you have shoestrings. I have a pair of slip-ons today. And then you do the left one. Now, just try to do the opposite shoe tomorrow, and you'll see what I mean. Change is hard. So good to think about, because whether you might be in a mega church, but you're in a group of less than 200. But then that group is associated with another church, another group, and it's over 200, but less than 400. And how would you go about changing? Whether it's the the order of service, the style of music, the style of preaching. Just think those things through. These are so crucial for effective ministry. And if you don't do it well, you're You're going to be very offensive no matter how beautiful your product. So, as we work on these things, I think I've kind of covered the things that we uh, are pressing on. We have the chapters from Chand as well as Macintosh in 3 relatively short videos that are all very helpful in understanding the theme for this week, a ministry leader in a specific ministry setting. So, God bless you. And as you go to worship with God's people, ask the Lord to make you a blessing to someone. Last Sunday, I filled the pulpit uh, about 75 miles away, and those people were such an encouragement and blessing to my wife. They'll never comprehend it. But we came home just rich in encouragement. I want you to be that kind of a person as you gather with God's people this weekend. Be a great encourager. Uh, just say thank you. Most people who work in ministry, whether it's in the nursery or the Sunday school class or a small group leader, never get thanked. You be sure that you thank somebody this weekend, and don't just say thanks for teaching. Say, I thank you for the sacrifice of time you make to be able to teach us effectively. Thank you for your integrity. Let it be a genuine uh, thank you, not just a superficial pat on the back as I run out the door. God bless you. You have a great weekend.